coming from a Nord, but I'm glad to see all these Reach folk alive and well. They seem content, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind us bringing them a few more reasons to celebrate.
What do you mean?
News of Rada al-Saran's death won't compare to the dead returning to life, but I'm sure Kadak will be relieved to hear it. You find the Ard and let him know there's nothing to fear from the Grey Host anymore. Tell him he has Verandis to thank.
You're not coming?
Why spoil the mood? I think I'm going to take a moment. I haven't done that since Fenorian and I arrived in the Reach.
Are you alright?
Just fine. Even the great Lyris Titanborn needs a rest sometimes. Don't tell anyone.
Alright. I think I'm also upset, like, they had Sai in the Reach. We had him for a side quest, one side quest. And he didn't show up at that last fight. I don't think I missed anything.
Look! Can you believe it? There's life to the keep again. Ha! That's your doing, isn't it? The Ard seems to think so. He'll want to see you. He's holding an audience in his war room right now.
What's this about a war room?
Ah, you're here too, Titanborn. You come with me. I have a message for your ears alone.
Fine, but if this is Kadak's idea of a joke, you won't find it funny.
Good to see you alive and well. Well, it's good to see everyone alive and well. I don't know to what gods we should be giving our thanks, but I wager we all owe you a good portion.
You can thank Verandis. He is able to destroy everyone.
We owe you for delivering Malakas's vengeance to that toothy bastard. Where is Count Verandis? I'd like to give him my proper thanks.
He stayed behind to save your people.
He what? I cannot find my words. I don't know whether to mourn his loss or celebrate what he gave us. You should tell the Yard. He'll want to pay respect of his own, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You go on and speak to Kadak. I'll see what's so important that your friend here has to tell me in private.
What do you think? What message do you think Brayden has to deliver?
I imagine the only message the Ard wants to share with me is of the unflattering variety, so I have no idea. Maybe the Skald King sent word? When I know, you'll know.
Oh, and I recognize you.
We are agreed. If Eastern and Western
Oh.
Skyrim can put aside their differences in the face of the Grey Host, then the Reach can do so as well. Come forward, free hand. No need to bow for the sake of kings.
So they're getting everyone together on this, huh? Prince?
Thank the gods we have better matters to attend to than the deployment of troops and suspicions of treachery. For a man called Despot, the Ard is in an agreeable mood. But that's not your concern. It's good to see you once more.
What brings you and the Skull King here to Markarth?
Truthfully, Spana, when we learned that Markarth suffered an attack like the one you narrowly prevented in Solitude, she insisted that we offer aid, ostensibly to stop the Grey Host. But it seems we're a bit late for that.
Well, there may still be remnants out there that kind of pose a threat anyways.
No doubt. They have proved very skilled at keeping to the shadows and biding their time. Hunting them down will not be easy. But I feel that's not how best to make use of the opportunity we've been given.
What do you mean?
The Grey Host's greatest weapon against us was our mutual mistrust. They preyed on our suspicions and fears, used our division to pick us apart one by one. The best way to prevent that from happening again will be to build trust and cooperation.
So you made an alliance with Reach?
An accord at least. It's a step in the right direction.
I wish you luck.
Trust takes time to build, but we must start somewhere. I couldn't have done it without Svanna. Jarl, Svanna.
Mm-hmm.
Watching her put aside past differences between Eastern and Western Skyrim for the sake of her people has made quite an impression on me.
You seem to hold Savannah in high regard then, huh?
Well, yes, I do. She's a striking woman, a figure, leader, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's won many hearts and minds in the short time she's been a Jarl. I think that speaks more to her esteem than my praise. Western Skyrim would do well to put her in charge.
Your father's going to allow somebody to control the West?
He doesn't want another war on his hands, and the Western holds still desire their independence. Skyrim won't be united by force, but with more days like today, the province may one day be whole, no matter how many kings claim it.
You seem more
Savannah.
comfortable standing among kings and jarls than I do. Then again, you always did. It's good to see you again.
That brings her the Reach.
Western Skyrim has begun to recover. With Fenn's elixir, our soldiers have been able to push back the Grey Host. I know the Reach has not been so fortunate. I persuaded Prince Ernskar and the Skald King to offer our support.
What do you plan to do then?
I expected we'd be sending soldiers, but by the time we arrived, the people were dancing in the streets. I always heard stories of the City of Stone being a dark place where flint-hearted Reachmen worship strange gods. It's not so different from home.
So how are things in Western Skyrim then?
The people seem happier than I've ever seen, in spite of all our hardships. I wasn't the only one living under my father's shadow, apparently. I can't come and go as I please, but the Blue Palace is lively as any tavern with Mog around.
So you brought Mog into the palace?
Made him my royal taster. I don't think the thought of being poisoned even crossed his mind, but he seems happy so long as the food and drink keeps coming. Unofficially, he's also the jester, but don't tell him I said so.
I won't tell him. Gold King.
No matter what befalls Skyrim, we are Nords, we are strong, sure as bones. If I had my lute, I would sing it loud for all to hear.
You also got Reachmen here too. They're not necessarily Nords. What are you doing here?
This business with the Grey Host is far from over. As long as Skyrim is threatened, I will be close by to lend a hand.
It's far from your holdings, though.
The Reach is far from everyone's holdings. This Grey Host business started with me, though, and I always intended to see it through to the end. Thankfully, we prevailed this time.
After you did nothing. So you think Savannah can become the ruler of Western Skyrim, huh?
I do. She's an impressive young woman. Is Western Skyrim ready for Svanna? That's the more pertinent question. Solitude shuns the outside world, while Svanna reaches for it. We'll have to see how that works out in the end.
You here to take over the Reach now?
I have no desire to replace a despot. Haven't these people suffered enough? In any event, my forces are stretched too thin to take on much more. If the people request help, however, I will put whatever resources I can at their disposal.
So why are you so willing to help him when you're also fighting him too?
Shore's bones. Why does everyone insist on seeing ulterior motives behind every kind act?
Because he is.
Just be a nice person?
Nope.
Look, someone has to extend the hand of friendship before it can be grasped. Besides, helping the Reach helps all of Skyrim.
I don't exactly believe that, but okay. Hard?
If you'd said only yesterday I'd play host to Nord rulers from across all Skyrim, I'd have told you the dead would live again before that happened. And here we are. A day of miracles. Tell me truthful, you had a hand in all this, aye?
Well, we killed Rada al-Saran, and Verandis restored the living, the lives that were lost to the Dark Heart, so...
At last, the monster that nearly brought my lands to ruin has paid the price for his wrongs. I could ask no more, and yet that which was taken has been returned as well. Where is Count Ravenwatch? If he thinks to escape my gratitude...
He kind of had to stay back in a scary Oblivion realm to return the Stolzir people, so...
Then, his name and deeds will echo these halls for as long as I sit upon the throne, which will be a while yet, thanks to you both, and so long as these Nords are good to their word. I've no idea what peace is like, but I'm eager to find out.
Okay, so what sort of agreement have you reached?
We treat for peace. Our battles with the Grey Host have ravaged all our kingdoms and peoples. We each seek to rebuild and recover. Perhaps we'll do so together. At least we'll keep out of each other's way. Before we proclaim, I have a favor to ask.
What do you need?
I've need of a counselor. In spite of her treachery, Lady Belaine was a canny advisor. I need that again now, more than ever. Tell the witch, Arana, that I will offer her my ear, if she will share her wisdom. I hear she's recently arrived to my keep.
So you're willing to make peace with Rana?
I suppose so. Can't just lop off her head after she got it back. Wouldn't do for morale. Unless she's determined to keep up her fight with me. I'm willing to put the past to rest. Besides, I already made peace with the rest of her rebels.
So what are your plans for Markarth now?
It's a worthy holdfast, but not so much a city. I would have the land worked, the stone repaired, and the markets expanded. But these are not things my kin have much knowledge in, but perhaps the Nords will share their trade.
That seems weird. Usually the Reachmen are very, like, leave things as they are and let the land handle it, so it seems kind of weird to me. What are your thoughts about the other rulers, then?
Well, they're a fair lot more agreeable than the she-wolf you travel with. Have the sense to show deference to a king in his own hall. Though I heard enough honeyed words from the Lady Belaine for one lifetime. The fat one thinks himself a poet.
What do you think of the Skull King?
Skull King. Nonsense. Every now and then comes a king of his kind. One who makes stirring pronouncements and promises that his court must struggle to keep. His grand words lack guile, so I'll wager he can be trusted.
Sivana?
The past would tell me to hate Svargrim's whelp with all my vigor. We've battled and bled for more generations than I can count with her ilk. But this fledgling speaks plain and honest. When she talks of new beginnings, I believe her.
The prince?
I heard Yoren sired the boy when he was young, but looking at the pair, I have a hard time saying who's father and who's whelp. Ernskar seems shrewd and dutiful, but his father casts a long shadow. A wide one, too.
All right. Talk to everyone. That's a weird sight, though. Like, all the Nords and Reach together.
My ears are burning. Is that my name on the wind?
Yeah, Rana.
Not even this gloomy old stone keep can dampen my spirits. My dreams hold true. Markarth is alive with joy. But you didn't approach to listen to me. What is it you wanted?
The Ard wants to know if you become the new counselor.
I'm barely foot to stone and he's clamoring for my attention. I had no mind to stand by a throne when I first started my journey. Now, here we are. The Reach has suffered so much. I want to help restore the land. Aye, I'll serve.
I'll give him your reply.
I can speak for myself. You have more important matters to attend to. There's a friend who's journeyed a long way to thank you personally for all you've done. 'Twould be rude to keep him waiting.
All right, where can I find him?
There's an out-of-the-way chamber in the rear of the keep where you can meet. Now, I should find the Ard and make sure he thinks before he speaks.
Tell me more about this friend. Is it Sai?
I can, but I won't. I'm enjoying the suspense. Off with you.
It's got to be Sai, right? Also, she doesn't like keeps. How does she have an out of the way room?
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, my friend. Do forgive my ghastly appearance. It seems I spoke too soon when I bade you a final farewell. I'm glad to have the opportunity to see you again, my friend.
Can you see me?
None of this would have been possible without you.
You look kind of blind. Thought you said you're going to stay behind.
As did I. When I took hold of the Darkstorm's power, I believed it would be the last thing I ever did. It was a force no mortal hands should wield. Still, with it, I was able to draw the souls out of the Dark Heart, return them to where they belonged.
Was that how you made it back?
No. As the last of the Dark Heart's power ebbed away, I should have been trapped in Rodda's sanctuary realm. But I was forced out. Pushed, I'd say. I fell into the darkness of the slumbering heart. Then I emerged from it, like a moth from a cocoon.
How so?
My soul became part of the Dark Heart, smelted inextricably into the fabric of its existence. So long as it remains dormant, its hold over me is tolerable. But I am bound to it nonetheless.
What do you do now, then?
If I am to be wed to this power, then I must ensure that it never gets used again. For that to happen, both the heart and I must fade into obscurity. House Ravenwatch will carry on without me. Arana will send them here to receive the news soon.
I see.
I have no regrets. You gave me the opportunity to reckon with my past and pay penance. This journey has brought closure to the life of Count Verandis Ravenwatch. I have a fresh start.
What are you gonna do?
As do we all. The kings are soon to speak. You should be there.
Are we gonna see you again?
I have no idea what the future holds, but you seem to be the axis upon which this world turns. If it still has some use for me, I'm sure our paths will cross again. Until then, my friend.
Arana said they'd be this way. Come on.
Father!
They said you were gone.
I was, and I will be again. We have much to discuss, but I will not be returning to House Ravenwatch.
But who will...
You three have no more need of a guardian. It's time I put the future of the Ravenwatch in your hands.
But you'll still visit, right?
Every chance I get.
What is he gonna do here? He's just gonna sit around the heart?
I don't know what I expected when Arana said there was someone waiting to see us, but I thought he was gone. I don't think there's anything left that could surprise me today. Forget I said that. Better not tempt fate.
Seem kind of troubled, though.
No, I don't mean to give the wrong impression. It's all just a bit much. Maybe I should sit down. Did he really say he wants us to take over the Ravenwatch?
Yep.
Right. I didn't imagine it. The truth is, we were already considering the future of the Ravenwatch after you returned without Verandis. It seems that will bear further discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm relieved that the circumstances are different.
I'm sure you do fine.
Your vote of confidence is always encouraging. Gwendis could use some of that as well, I think. Have a word with her, won't you?
All right. What's my assignment then?
You're to endure as much of the cheer and praise as the Ard and his people can heap upon you. And you're to have absolutely nothing to do with evil vampires for at least, I don't know, a day? Think you can manage that, recruit?
No.
Remember, you're representing House Ravenwatch now. Consider this a diplomatic mission. I believe the Ard was calling for you when we spoke to Arana. He was headed to the audience chamber with the other rulers, last I saw.
All right. Gwendis?
Here and gone, here and gone. It's cruel to play with a girl's heart like this. But I'm glad Verandas kept his promise. Ugh, I'm having too many feelings right now.
You need a moment. So how do you feel about leading the Raven Watch, huh?
Great, terrible, everything in between. I've waited so long for Verandas to stop hovering over my shoulder. But I never thought it would be because he's not around. I realized something, though. When you and Lyris told me he wasn't coming back.
Oh?
I can't shed tears for him. It's not what he needs from me. He needs someone to carry on after him. To do the work he can't anymore. So that's what I'll do. Keep his legacy alive. Somebody has to keep tabs on all those pesky vampires.
Well, let me know if you need assistance again.
Don't think it's just Verandas I expect to visit. It'd be nice bumping into you somewhere other than a moldy cavern once in a while. Castle Ravenwatch is always open to you. It's not like we have a shortage of guest rooms.
I remember that, except you don't have any guest rooms.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to give Verandas an earful. I think I heard the Ard calling for you when we were talking to Arana. They're making some proclamation in the audience chamber. Better not miss your accolades.
Adusa? You didn't even do anything in the main quest.
I heard that Verandas had been imprisoned in the void, but he's here. Forgive me. This one is glad to see you, Five Claw. Your help at Reachwind Depths was much appreciated. Without your assistance, Cathard would still be in the deep tombs.
You ready to lead the Raven Watch?
There was a time when this one felt more like a nursemaid than compatriot to those two. But Gwendis and Fenorian are no longer helpless kittens. Count Verandas need not worry. Adusa stands firm. House Ravenwatch will endure.
Without Verandas, what will happen?
House Ravenwatch has a long and noble tradition. This one will run the estate in Count Verandas' absence. She has done so before. As for the Ravenwatch, our work will continue. Gwendis is coming into her own, and Fenorian shows promise.
What about Cathad?
Cathad has much training to complete before he can take his place as a fully functional member of the Ravenwatch. Oh, he has the skills and the proper outlook, but he needs time to hone those abilities and learn our methods. He will work out well.
Alright, I talked to everyone. Joy.
Now, I must bid farewell to my beloved wards. I have never been comfortable with goodbyes, but I should realize by now that they are rarely forever. I won't be joining the festivities, but rest assured, I will be watching.
Off we go. Die!
I thought you might enjoy a welcome surprise for once, Snow Lily.
Oh, sigh. You always know how to... Oh, hello, partner.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Thank you again for agreeing to help Lyris and I with our little problem. It seems there is always trouble that needs fixing, but it's good to find a moment for celebration now and again.
It's good that you find how to get your sword back. By thinking of Lyris. Get your sword big and tall every time you think about Lyris, huh? Am I interrupting?
What? No, never. You were always welcome in our company. Good companions are hard to find. Don't let us keep you from your moment of honor, though. There will be plenty of time to share stories after all the accolades.
Thank you. What brings you here?
I long planned to visit Skyrim and learn about their long history with the dragons, to help in our battle against them. When I heard that Lyris was here, fighting a sword saint no less, I decided now was the time to make the journey.
A sword saint?
Rada Al-Saran was an Ansei of great renown, a legend to rival Leki herself. The sword saints are a lost legacy to my people. It's a shame that Al-Saran did not devote himself to restoring that honorable tradition instead of his monstrous gray host.
What do you do now that the fighting's over, though?
Lyris has promised to show me some of the Dragon Cult's ruins and barrows. With good fortune, they may help us learn more about our foes in elsewhere. I will return to my duties there soon.
Away from the Eris again?
Sai and I were just talking about the Ashen Lord, and
Ass?
well, a few other topics came up.
Like
Nothing that
ass?
bears mentioning. Of course, that bears mentioning, Sai. Look, partner, you understand, right?
You're talking about ass and lords. I got it. Yeah. What's the message?
Braden said there was a mysterious Red Guard looking for me. The way he said it, my first thought was Rada al-Saran found his way back too. But no, just Sai trying to surprise me.
Two?
I punched him extremely hard, and then I hugged him.
Wait a minute. She knows that Verandas got back?
Skyrim is a nice place to visit, but I need to see what's over the horizon. And yes, I think that Sai wants to go with me. The Skull King can spare me for a while. Besides, he owes me. Where will we go? Somewhere far away. Maybe back to Skingrad.
Their travels.
People like us can't stay out of trouble very long. So let's share a few casks of mead while things are quiet. Oh, Caddock's looking for you. He and the other rulers want to make some big announcement. I'll be along in a moment.
Have you met Savannah or the Skull King?
I haven't, but I'm sure you can keep them busy for a while longer. Right, partner?
Nope.
Sai and I still have a few dents to bang out of my armor.
Oh, she's gonna go bang dents out of her armor. Okay. I'll go see what this announcement's about. Oh, look, we got all our friends here, too. All right, Braden?
Well met, Harrier. Too many people here for my liking, but I guess it's understandable. We've seen some dark days of late, but it's good to see the sun come out again.
Friend, I'm happy to see you. News of what you did for the Reach brought joy to me, and to Modern as well.
What are you up to?
I've been preparing for the wedding. The Chief of Chiefs and the Clan Chiefs agree it'll happen within the season. Modern and I have grown closer than ever. Though sometimes I worry about him.
What's that?
I think breaking his word to Tristan still weighs heavy on him. Though I hear she's found a new love already, Modern still worries. I do my best to comfort him. It's easier now that our clans aren't feuding as much as they used to anyway.
Modern?
Outsider, you are an inspiration. What you did for this land, its people, I can scarce fathom it.
What have you been up to, huh?
My wedding to Estlin will be within the season, so I'm told. I've also been helping my father settle the peace terms between the Eagle Seers and my clan. I've kept myself quite busy.
And have you spoken to Dreslin, or have you been staying away from that?
A bit. She's still hurt, but she told me she understands why I made the choice that I did. I think we both realize our lives will be better for it, and not just because of the peace between the Six Fords and the Eagle Seers.
Sijik.
Finally, a moment to pause and reflect. You've a great deal to reflect upon, too. You stopped the Grey Host, restored life to Markarth's dead, saved Tamriel from certain peril. That's a rather long list of accomplishments, I must say.
What have you been up to since last we spoke? Actually, why is the Sijik hanging around here anyways?
Since the incident with Pithis, I've focused on applying myself to my studies. My fellow Sijiks never faulted me for what happened. They've been nothing but supportive. So much so, in fact, that they've asked me to consider taking an apprentice. Me!
All right. Badone.
Friend, you've done more for me people than most Reachmen know. You've changed my view of Outlanders, that's for sure and certain.
How you doing?
I think the spirits are smiling on us once more. The Thorn Roots have given my clan no more trouble. And I'm thankful. Father thinks it's time I take up more of the leadership of the clan. So he's teaching me the ways. Ugh, I hope I'm ready.
Orin.
It's a grand occasion you've delivered us to, outsider. I'm glad Madonna and I could be a part of it.
How are the hill hunters after we saved you from that delve?
Free and safe, thankfully. After the trouble with the thorn roots, we found shelter in the mountains. Now, it seems that it's safe for us to return to the lowlands. And I'm passing on to Madonna what knowledge I can. She is ready to lead.
All right. Helena?
It's good to see you, friend. It seems we of the Reach owe much to you.
How's Carthwashen, huh?
Now that it's free of the vampire's pall, Carthwaston thrives. The Crow-Eye clan will always remember what you did for us.
Wait, what? Huh? Is Lyris invisible here? Like, Lyris is sitting there invisible. All right. Iman.
You saved the Crow-Eye clan and now the Reach itself. I'm sorry I distrusted you. But in my defense, it's not every outsider that can wipe out an army of vampires and werewolves. You're different from outsiders. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Aye, but don't get any ideas, outsider. I'm still keeping my eye on you. So mind yourself.
Mm-hmm. Olvak.
The Crow-Eye once again have a reason to look at you in admiration, outsider.
Oh, the Crow-Eye affair, huh?
Well, thank you. Carthwaston knows the favor of the Daedra once more, and the air no longer reeks of the storm. Our home is at peace, as are we.
All right. Got a bard here. Waiters. Stone hands. Oh, that Jarl again. Bud?
You're the one who killed Rada al-Saran, who helped stop the Grey Host? I had no idea. You should have told me. You're a legend.
But we did that after we met you, so life on the Raven Watch, everything you expected to be?
Hard to say. Adusa Daro has begun my training, but there's only so much we can accomplish out here in the Reach. She says we'll be heading to Rivenspire soon, so I can train in Ravenwatch Castle. And I met Gwendis and Fenorian. They welcomed me.
What do you think about Gwendis and Fenorian? It's not like they're earshot or anything.
Adusa says they're my sister and brother now. Fenorian seems nice enough, if a little too scholarly for my taste. Gwendis, however, she's intense. None of my actual siblings ever looked at me the way she does. It's disconcerting.
Probably teasing you.
If you say so. Hopefully, once I prove myself, they'll accept me as a true member of the family. In the meantime, I'm trying to remember everything Adusa tells me. I want to make sure she never regrets coming to my aid. Or you either, my friend.
Hmm. Surely.
So you and Fenorian managed without me, I see. Is it true that the last of the Grey Host has finally joined his brothers and sisters in the grave?
Yep, Rada al-Saran has been destroyed, along with all these, those who returned to Cold Harbor.
Then you have the Pyre Watch's eternal gratitude. I must return their stolen remains to the unhallowed grave, and bury them deeply enough to be forgotten by all but my order. Once it is rebuilt.
Any luck recruiting?
No. Some of those defending the Bankerai garrison showed interest, but most of them were only seeking a less hazardous post. The Pyre Watch has no need of layabouts and cowards. We must be eternally vigilant. Perhaps I will try Kvatch next.
Kind of weird. Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. You have to go up to a bunch of people and be like, hey, you guys all want to watch over an ancient race of vampire graves? You may be ever vigilant in case they ever try to corrupt us again.
Welcome to the Raven Watch. I suppose that makes me your superior now. I'll try not to let it go to my head. I actually have your first assignment, if you're ready.
You already gave me my assignment, right?
You're to endure, remember?
All right, all right. Do so?
At the start of this day, it seemed the Raven Watch was doomed. Now I see it is transforming into what Adusa does not know, but I have great hope.
Gwendis?
Don't think it's just for Ondus I expect to visit. It'd be nice bumping into you somewhere other than a moldy cavern once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Castle Ravenwatch is always open to you. It's not like we have a shortage of guest rooms.
All right. Looking for anyone else? A Mog.
Salutations! Wherever you go, celebrations seem to follow. Even if this one is a bit peasantly. But not everyone can have the refined palate of a royal taster.
You seem kind of different.
I believe the word you are looking for is refined. My boon companion is the Jarl of Solitude. I have to ensure everything served to her is of the highest quality. You'd be surprised at the sort of slop the Blue Palace chefs will put on her plate.
Slop?
For the future High Queen? Certainly. Usually I have to have 2 or 3 courses before they get it right. It's cost me 3 notches on my best belt. But that's a small price to pay for royalty. Speaking of, it's about time to inspect the kitchen.
Goddamn Mog. Bald Bulgin?
In all my years, I have neither seen nor heard of such a miracle as you've delivered today. You must have Shore's own bond with Mother Wolf for her to carry so many lost pups back here.
What are you doing here?
This old woman not important enough to merit an invitation, is that it? If you must know, Svanna asked me to counsel her on the Reach, but I'd have come whether I was invited or not. Can't trust such important matters to the likes of kings.
You've been here before.
That I have. Many times during the vast span of my life, though not in some years. The city never changes, only the occupants. Perhaps that will change now, should this peace hold.
You think it will?
I should think this whole affair taught you that nothing lasts forever. But it seems to me the people are ready for this peace. I don't think it'll crumble easily so long as ambitious fools aren't permitted to chip away at it.
Red on?
Never thought I'd set foot in Markarth except to conquer it. Strange times. Strange, but not entirely unpleasant. Still, I'll not get comfortable here. Too much dwarf workings and old stone. May as well live in a barrow.
How's Morthal since it left?
My hold endures, as we always have. Though we might not have weathered the Harrowstorms without that elixir Fenorian and old Nyolan concocted, they still threaten the countrysides. But we can fight free of the fear that we'll be made monsters.
How things with your daughter then?
Better, much better. There's still a pall that hangs over her to the rest of the townsfolk. But at home we're beginning to feel more like a family again. She even smiles now and again. You've got enough arse-kissing to endure, but I'm grateful.
Now you show up.
Good work, partner. It's always a pleasure to fight by your side. Forgive me for saying this, but I hope we don't need to do that again for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Bye.
Don't let us keep you. We'll manage to keep each other company while you take your well-deserved bows.
I think that is everyone at this point. At least everyone down here. Prince.
Understone Keep is strikingly different from the Palace of Kings. I can say that much for it. All this dwarven architecture is suffocating, and I find the little machine noises that carry through the halls unnerving. I wouldn't get much sleep here.
Finally, the guest of honor has arrived. Let's have a word before we begin.
Nope. Talking to everyone else.
Eager to announce our peace agreement. Don't keep him waiting any longer. His patience is already wearing thin.
All right. Hard.
Go on, my witch beckons. Just make it quick. I feel a fool standing about like this.
Whenever I see you, I know that Skyrim is in good hands.
Yep, the good hands of the Dominion. 80 all the way.
Not a moment too soon. Kadak's eager to demonstrate that he's the equal of any Nord king. He hopes it will legitimize his claim as king of the Reach. He's not wrong, but he'd look more a fool if I weren't here to keep his temper on a leash.
Well, seems like you're already a helpful advisor, right?
That I am. It's a new dawn. For me, for Markarth, for the Reach. After all you've done to bring it back from the brink of oblivion, putting up with Kadak's arse-headed notions is the least I can do to make sure it wasn't wasted effort.
Does that mean you're getting along?
Let's not stretch the bones of reason. There'll be no shortage of bickering and cursing in our future, but there's trust. So long as we both want what's best for the Reach, that'll do. Best to see him now. I can see him casting glares our way.
I'll speak with him.
Fair adventurers. Come and go as you please. Keep 3 kings and a jarl biding on their thumbs in a crowded hall. Suppose you've earned that right, Rover. Near everybody in this room wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you.
I did what I did.
Simply put, I like that. In doing what needed doing, you brought all the crowns of Skyrim to one hall. You put the Grey Host back in the ground, and you gave us clear skies. At last, we can see where we must go. Take this with all our thanks.
Mm-hmm. Now that they're all together. No, we can't kill them all.
3 hands of Markarth, you long-suffering lot, I call my kin. We've survived another long night, darker than we've ever known, but we did nae endure it alone. Against the Grey Host we found unlikely allies, and put aside old grudges. Together, we not only survived, we flourished.
We owe these miracles to the efforts of all kinds. Reachman, Nord, Vampire, Outlander. Heroes of every stripe. Let us follow their example. We have warred together. We celebrate together. Let us rebuild together.
Yay!
We clash mugs instead of swords. Peace and prosperity to all our kingdoms. Cheers to the heroes of Skyrim.
Let us remember them with song and drink.
Don't sing.
The children of Skyrim we shall endure.
Please don't sing.
It still doesn't feel real to me. So much has happened since we first met that it feels like a lifetime ago. The nightmare is finally over, though. I know I won't wake up to find everything as it was, but there's a new dawn at least.
But what comes now that you declare pleased?
Prince Ernskar is eager to lay out the terms of our new accord, but that's tomorrow's work. After this, my only order of business is to get out of this damned finery. It may be good for impressing folk, but it's like wearing a mountain goat.
Hard.
I cannot think of a time or a tale where a Reach folk and Nord extended a hand to one another unless each was holding a dagger. This may be the first time such a thing's occurred. May it not be the last.
Do you think this is gonna last?
Much as anything can. Stone crumbles, forests burn, even Daedra die now and again. This life's a struggle. The only thing that's changed is what we struggle against. The peace will last so long as we fight for it.
And will you?
Aye. We've trod in circles with blood and rage clouding our eyes for as long as anyone can remember. But just now, we've glimpsed a new path of this endless trail of suffering. Peace is on the horizon, and we're for it now, with all we've got.
Jarl?
We may be a divided nation, but in our hearts we are all Nords.
No, we're not.
I have faith that one day Skyrim will be whole once more.
Yes, under the Thalmor. Exactly right.
I think that went well, don't you? I thought it would be best to keep the speeches short. I'm just glad my father agreed to let me take the lead. I don't know that the Ard has the patience for one of the Skald King's epic toasts.
So what will you do now that the other leader, or what will you and the other leaders do now?
After years of saber rattling, we need to start learning how to be good neighbors. How will we trade goods? How will we resolve disputes? Jarl Svanna and I are resolved to lay a foundation that our diplomats can build upon, however long it takes us.
In the Ard?
Right, the Ard. I think it might be best for Svanna and I to work closely on a framework first, and present it to Ard Kadak. He's got a lot going on, and I'm sure he'd rather not spend hours debating every detail.
Miranda?
The spirits must have plans for me, Harrier. Why else put me back here in the Reach? I'll help keep Ard Kadak out of trouble for a while. After that, we'll see.
What's next?
It's strange to say, but I don't want to think too far ahead. After everything that happened, I want to relish the present moment. Help Kadak, my people. Just enjoy the time I've been given. You should try it, Harrier. Do you a world of good.
Yeah. Anything new, Sai?
That was a heartening display. The Reach folk are often dismissed as savage and beastly, but they have a strong sense of honor. I know that all too well.
What do you mean?
Much Reach blood stained my blade during Varen's rebellion. Not all were proud and noble warriors, but many deserved respect. It is the duty of those who fight to remember those who die, even their foes.
Do you regret fighting Reach folk?
No, it was a just war. Still, I bear no ill will toward the Reach folk for the misdeeds of the Longhouse Emperors. Look around. It is plain to see that they possess as much honor and goodness as anyone else. I hope they enjoy a lasting peace.
What's next, Sai?
Well, Lyris wants to relax, see the world while we're not trying to save it. She also mentioned that she wants me to sharpen her axe and polish her armor. Her most peculiar smile, though. I suspect there's more to these chores than she let on.
She wants to dress you in a maid outfit, Sai.
Good work, partner. It's always a pleasure to fight by your side. Forgive me for saying this, but I hope we don't need to do that again for quite some time.
I understand.
Don't worry. I'll stick around to raise a glass or two with you. Celebrate our victory. If I stay too long, though, one of these leader types will try to send me on another mission. Sai might not mind, but I'm determined to finally relax a little.
I didn't imagine you to be the type to take a vacation, though.
Hey, I enjoy saving the world as much as the next hero, but even I have my limits. I want to spend some time with the man I love, traveling and doing anything that doesn't involve hitting somebody with my axe.
You're not going to get bored, then?
Initially, not even a little. There are a lot of things I've been meaning to do with Sai that should keep me occupied for a few weeks. And when we do get restless, I have a knack for stumbling into the next threat to the realm. We'll be fine.
He just wants to dress him in a maid outfit and then have him bang out that armor. Anything new?
Never thought I'd set foot in Markham.
Oh. Find us.
After everything that's happened, I think I'll enjoy a nice, quiet month of Ravenwatch Castle. Who am I kidding? I'll be lucky if Adusa lets us rest tonight.
What's next?
What's left of the Grey Host may be in shambles, but the leftovers are certain to make trouble elsewhere, even with their Ashen Lord gone. Plus, we'll need to catch up on who else has been up to no good while they hogged our attention.
Well, let me know if you have something going on.
Oh, you'll be the first to read the naughty list when we've got one, trust me. Maybe I'll even tag along. But no caves this time.
This one is not used to being this close to the center of attention. She does not like it. Give Adusa a shadow or dark corner. Celebrations such as these tend to be too bright and noisy for my taste.
You don't like to be thanked for your work?
Does a tiger need to be thanked for killing a terror bird? Adusa Daro does not hunt to be appreciated. She hunts because it is her nature. The only reward this one needs is worthy prey and fresh blood.
Oh, someone might offer their blood as thanks, you know.
You think so? That would make this endeavor much more bearable. Perhaps this tiger will linger a while longer.
Oh my. How's Cathar doing?
So far, so good. He has skills and a sense of honor that will serve him well. This one hoped to let Gwendis take him under her wing, finish his training. But as usual, the little one sees a toy to play with instead of a brother to assist.
Benorian?
You've done the Raven Watch proud. I don't suppose you'd accept an assignment to reorder all of Count Verandis' records? No? Well, I can look forward to that later. For now, we celebrate.
Back to your books after this?
No. I won't be barricading myself in the library any longer. But someone has to curate our records. Can you imagine Adusa doing it? Or Gwendis? I'll show you the state of her sock drawer sometime. This was quite the adventure, wasn't it?
Wait, why does Sven know what her sock drawer looks like? We're learning a lot about people's fetishes this round here, so yeah, it was quite an adventure.
But we survived it, even if it was touch and go there for a bit. Forgive me for being sentimental, but it was you who got me through it. I'll always be grateful for that.
I don't want to mention it.
Well, I mean it all the same. If there's ever a time when you need someone to be there for you, count on me. Now go on. Everyone wants to talk to you, and I'm only liable to embarrass myself if I keep carrying on.
All right.
You're the one who killed Rada al-Saran.
Yeah, we already went over that. It's when...
It's good to see you.
The Crow-Eye...
You saved the Crow-Eye...
So you and Fenorian met...
Salutations!
I think we've done all this. Lyris, yep.
It's a grand occasion.
Finally,
Friend.
Outsider.
If you told me a season ago that the leader of Western Skyrim would share a dais with the Reach King, I would have laughed in your face. But here we are.
What will you rebels do now, huh?
Not much to rebel against now that Arana has made peace with the Yard. We'll stay long enough to deal with any grey hosts lurking nearby, and then we'll be on our way. Markarth's not the sort of place werewolves should linger in. Too many people.
What of the Ghost Song clan? Gonna go home?
The survivors asked me to be chieftain, but it's time to let the Ghost Song clan go and begin a new clan with a new name. Better to leave the dark old ways behind. Thinking about the name Longfangs or Wolf Runners.
Not any hidden stuff, right? Let's see. Like hidden friends or such like we had with elsewhere, right? Also, I almost expect like Rada Al Saran or somebody else to pop up. I think that's it.
I did not expect any company, my friend.
What are you doing here?
You caught me in a moment of quiet contemplation. But please, join me.
What are you contemplating?
I have lived a very long time. Even by high elf standards, I am ancient. I confess, I often embraced the routine as a distraction from the gnawing dread of my curse. Many times I sought a home, a family, and a cause. Yet I never remained for long.
And you regret that?
It was not always my choice. Seeing the lengths Rodda went to save the Grey Host makes me question my commitment. Did I ever fight that hard for those I loved? Or did I just convince myself I had to move on because it was easier to start over?
And what's your answer?
Not yet. I think I may have gotten it right this time, however. I built something that will outlast me. The Raven Watch are able, caring, devoted. I raised them well. It's comforting to know I have somewhere to return. Even if only occasionally.
I'm sure they'll be glad to see you when you do.
They are my family. And you as well. I had not confided in anyone since Rodda, until you took up my cause. I would like to bequeath my name to you, if you will have it.
Sure.
Then it's in good hands. Thank you for coming to visit, my friend. This little chat has dispelled some of the gloom hanging over me.
Until next time.
The bonds of friendship weave a net that will catch you when you fall. Radha said that, though the sentiment is much more martial in the original Yokuden. May you always be surrounded by those who will catch you when you need them most. I should return to the Dark Heart soon. I grow weary if I'm away from it for too long. Plus, I need no additional reasons to nod off as I trudge through the Night Hollow Testament. Until next time, my friend.
Mm-hmm. That's it. The only thing he mentioned was Yukuden, which I'm speculating Yukuden or Akaviri. Maybe we'll see something in the future for the next chapter.